Yeah, as I've been repeatedly gone over, at least on my channel anyway, that's the next shoe to drop, is that the taxes, they're just going to keep reappraising people's houses to keep pumping their taxes up to the point where they can really no longer afford their houses. And because we have a nation of rent seekers and slumlords that have fomented, that have like pushed this idea of forever renting, people never owning property, you lose people on your side. You know, like, so, and I talked about this last night, but if you have lots of property owners, right, then all the property owners can band together and say, hey, we don't like what's going on here. You need to stop all of this. But if you only have a small percentage of property owners and the majority are just renting, particularly from large mega corporations, then yeah, you're going to end up with this kind of thing. You're going to end up with not enough people on your side, right? Like the property owner side, to start putting this stuff in check, which is why you're going to see things like this, where it's like, oh, well, they're just going to arbitrarily start reappraising it. And they will. This will be happening to everybody now. All across the country, as the governments go broke, because governments eventually run out of everybody else's money, time, patience, everything. They run out of everything because they just keep using everybody's money to buy votes. That's it. Okay? Well, eventually they run out of everybody's else's money and patience. And then they start looting everything they can, and they do it legally, of course. And everybody, you know, the people who are all about law and order go along with it, because to them it's like, oh, well, see, we're protecting the system. Like, no, you're not really protecting the system. You're just crushing people in your own ignorance and stupidity and everything. So yeah, I mean, that's most people, particularly the people who get involved in the law and order clan, which is what it's become now. It's a cult, a clan, etc. That's just, you know, that's just how it is. People get sucked into that kind of stuff very easily, with the delusions of someday we're going to fix all this at some point maybe, and it's all everybody else's fault except for the guy in the fucking mirror. And that's who the actual problem lies with. But until people are ready to deal with that, you know, we're going to go through all this nonsense again until we actually get the currency fixed. So, but yeah, this is the next problem, and it's going to be more and more as we go, I think, for more and more people. And the trick is going to be, how do we continue to pay all these taxes when they're in declining marketplace? Say you own an appraisal company, you own an appraisal business, and you want real estate agents and bankers and what have you to contact you to go and do random appraisals of these houses. And if your appraisals always come back, you know, lower than everybody else's, well, then that means that they're not going to move as many houses, right? So you have to play this little game of, well, if we actually appraise these houses based on what they really probably should be appraised at, then no one's going to do any deals. The potential buyers of the houses aren't going to, you know, they're not going to qualify because they'll have to come up with even bigger down payments. They'll be told that it didn't come in at appraised value. The bankers are going to be upset about this because, like, well, if you're appraising everything lower than everything else in the neighborhood, and they just wrote a bunch of deals in that neighborhood, then that means that you're effectively saying that their balance sheet is going to go in the red. So, and then, of course, real estate agents are going to hate you because they want to get closed. Real estate agents don't care about what you're doing here. I've met very few real estate agents in my life that care about anything beyond their next paycheck. That's it. So they want to get closed. They want to make their car payments, you know, like things like that. So when you're asking the question, what incentivizes them not a lot. They're in business, right? You're in business yourself. Like, remember, you put yourself in that position. You're in business and you need to pay your bills too, so you kind of need to keep business coming in. And if the only way to keep business coming in is to constantly be slowly shoving the price of real estate up on your appraisals, so that way people keep coming back to you, well, then that's what ends up happening. Anything that can't be printed from nothing, that's the answer. Anything that can't be just conjured from nothing. So I don't have any one specific system that I'm particularly married to. I'm married to the idea behind an accurate unit of measurement, something that isn't moved around randomly by the political whims or the business whims, for that matter, of people, right? Like the currency stays the same. Everything else can fluctuate against it as opposed to moving the currency around to match the markets, right? That's the problem with this, because the business interests, for example, are always going to want to give the appearance that their prices are lower and that their quality is higher. They want to give the appearance of this rather than actually making the product better and producing it at a lower price, because that's actual competition in the real marketplace. On the political side, they always want to give the illusion that you're somehow doing better because, look, see, you have more dollars, you have more money, right? Even though it doesn't really buy you anything, and it's buying you less and less and less. So that would be my solution right there. Find something that doesn't move, that is an accurate unit of measurement, and that can't be conjured from nothing. That would be the solution.